Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Galen, for allowing me to present tonight and inviting all of you guys. So, tonight I am going to talk about how to restore your sex life again, especially if you have ED. So, hang on with me, and I'm going to start. Hello there. Want an amazing sex life? This free gift is going to give you more sex by helping you get harder and lasting longer. Let's talk about the most sensitive subject, the effect that aging has on your sex life. If you're over 40, there's about 67% chance that you have to deal with one or more of these issues. You sometimes go soft in the middle of sex. You sometimes have trouble lasting long enough to climax. Your erection just doesn't feel as hard as it used to be, and your penis is not as sensitive as it used to be. You cannot reach orgasm or ejaculate. You sometimes have trouble getting an erection. These things lead to frustration and embarrassment when you cannot please your partner. My name is Dr. Truong, and I've been treating men for issues like this for over 25 years. As a board-certified medical doctor who specializes in men's health, I helped over 7,000 men reverse the effect of ED. As a way to introduce you to the ED treatment that I offer, I want to give you the most incredible free gift ever. But don't let the fact that it's free gift fool you. This powerful gift will help you get harder and stay and last longer, and may just revolutionize your sex life, making sex more exciting, more thrilling, and an amazing experience again. How is that? So here's what you're going to get in this most incredible free gift. Number one, a good morning wood smoothie recipe. This is my specially formulated antioxidant recipe that will help you get harder and stay and stimulating more blood flow. It is formulated to increase your nitrous oxide level, which is one of the biggest keys to making you harder and firmer more often, and will also help you last longer. It is filled with lots of greens that create more nitrous oxide in your blood. This smoothie will give you that morning wood effect and will also make you harder on demand when you need it most. And you'll see the effect in about several weeks. Number two, nitrous oxide testing strip. You will also get 2 of these strips, which you will use along with simple instructions to test your nitrous oxide level in your saliva. Nitrous oxide is a gas in your body and is required for good blood flow to the organ. The strip can determine if your nitrous oxide are deficient, which can help us advise you on the best way to reverse your ED. Even more important, since ED is an early warning sign of problems with circulation and heart health, this can also be a great way to prevent heart-related problems such as strokes and heart attack. Number three, and the best part of all, a 30-day free trial access to the Modern Man Club. As part of our mission to make men hard again, we launched the Modern Man Club as a way to provide education and support to a community of men who's on the path to reversing their ED, with pre-recorded and live session being offered every week. I will help men regain sexual health through training, support. I will be there all the way with you to hold your hand through, so that way you can overcome ED and have your best sex life. Members rave about this session and the sense of community they gain by being a member of the Modern Man Club. And all you have to do is to say maybe to this offer. And once you say maybe, you will be on your way to a more fulfilling and exciting sex life. So all you have to do is fill down the form below, and then I will see you on the inside. This podcast is for you, the modern man. I'm Dr. Truong, your host. I'm an intimate health medical doctor and best-selling author of the book Erectile Dysfunction Fixed. I'll do a deep dive into sexual health and performance and how it affects men of all ages and backgrounds. So let's get started, and be sure to visit my website at sexualhealthformenpodcast.com for more information and resources from the show. See you on the inside. Thank Thank you. Thank you for being here with me tonight. And wherever you're zooming from, I'm glad you're here because I hope that you will learn something from today's web class. Today's web class is the 6 easy steps to get hard. And I'm going to talk about how to restore your sex life without ED medication. And my name is Dr. Truong, and I'm currently in Virginia, just right outside of Washington, D.C. We're like an hour outside of D.C. So thank you for being here. Please turn off all distraction, close social media, set your phone aside, get a pen, get paper, and take notes. Close all the tabs on your window. I will honor your time and save your question to the end. I love to hear it, and I will answer all the questions. So stay with me until the end because I'm going to give you a bonus that you can use that will help you go to the next step in restoring your sex life. So I'm not exactly why you're here, but I'm glad you're here. Maybe the reason number one is you've been following with the doctors or whatever clinic you go to or going on internet and they tell you what to do, but whatever it is, it hasn't worked and you're frustrated and you've been trying to do it yourself and nothing's worked and you need some direction to get out of ED. Or reason number three, if you've had enough and you're ready to take control of your life to gain confidence in your performance and resume your relationship again. So no matter why you're here, I'm glad you're here. And so leave now if you aren't ready to laugh and learn. And if you don't want to learn and improve your sex life, or you'll get mad if I tell you about a free and a paid opportunity at the end of the webinar training. Now, disclaimer is that this is for those that will follow what I talk about today. And those that want to put in the work to restore their sex life, there are no shortcuts. There really is no shortcuts because your ED didn't occur overnight, but over years. And the reason why I do this is because of these men like what I show you here, Truman. And Truman is 50 years old. He is married, he has a lovely wife, and he started to experience ED. He tried ED medication and couldn't tolerate the side effect of a headache and wanted to do something about it. And we started working together. And now he's getting morning wood again. He hasn't had morning wood in like 3 years. And he is now happy, and so is his wife. And then there is Mr. C. And that's how you like to be called. He had prostate cancer. That's the guy on the right. He had prostate cancer and it had surgery. So his prostate was completely taken out. For those of you that know about prostate surgery, they go in and cut that prostate. The gland that wrap around your urethra is where you go pee. They cut it out. He had nerve damage. He had ED. He's only 41 years old. 41 years old, and he had ED, and he thought that he was going to live the rest of his life not to be able to enjoy sex. And with working with us through the protocol that I'm showing you, he now is able to have sex again with his girlfriend, and he is ecstatic because he thought that his life was over. So that's why I do what I do. So who is this for? So this may be that the men who want to restore their sex life and the partners who want to help their men restore their sex life. So my goal in this web class is that the only way for you to restore your sex life is through treating the root cause of why you have ED. And the only way to restore your sex life and treat the root cause is through my 6 easy step to get hard approach. And just think, how much is that worth to you? So why should you listen to me? Well, I've been a board certified medical doctor for 25 years. I treated over 7,000 men with ED. I have a best-selling book on Amazon called Erectile Dysfunction Fix. And I'm a medical contributor for One American Network, national TV. And I've been interviewed on Fox and Bravo, CNN, and NBC. And I'm a keynote speaker for other doctors on sexual health, and I teach doctor internationally on sexual health treatment. I've also given talks at the FBI and given multiple talks in the country. So essentially, my story is the short part of my story is that My husband and I have been happily married for 20 years. We've been married now for 30 years. And he is my best friend. He's the best lover, the best father. We have two beautiful children. In 2014, he developed heart disease. And because of the different medication that he had to take for his heart disease, he then developed ED. And as you're going to see from my presentation, heart disease and ED goes together. He took 5 heart medication. It actually made his ED worse. He was actually avoiding sex. It was uncomfortable at times for us. And unfortunately, we were able to talk about it. And I knew that it was a big issue and it was driving us apart. I wanted my best friend back. I wanted my husband back. And I wanted us to have a sex life that we had before. I didn't want him to take ED meds because that would make his blood pressure lower more because of his heart medication. And I didn't want him to have the side effect. So I was looking for a way to treat ED without medication. And there has to be a way. And of course, I know about the pump and the other gadget, but I'm a medical doctor. So I try to find ways that, hey, how can I treat this from a restorative perspective? And a doctor friend of mine said she heard about injecting stem cell, which is your own stem cell, into your penis to restore blood flow and help with ED. And she said, well, and I was already doing stem cell because I'm a pain management doctor. I was already doing your own stem cell for pain. So, and I thought, my God, it's right in front of me. It's been right in front of me all these years and I never saw it. So I started doing stem cell that is in his blood, which autologous, not from somebody else. I started doing stem cell for him for his ED. And within 3 weeks, he started functioning again. And I'm like, holy moly, I can't believe this is working. So I tried it on more patients and it worked for them. And then I taught doctors on how to do it and it worked for their patient. So my epiphany is that my husband no longer had ED. We treated the cause of his ED. And I love doing what I'm doing. I'm changing men's lives, and the doctors I train, we're changing other people's lives. Okay. So after 17 years of being in practice, I discover, oh my God, you can treat ED at the root cause. So if you've been struggling with ED, this is probably why. It's really not your fault because there's a lot of misinformation out there and it can be confusing and misleading. And ED, I will show you, it's actually a complex problem. It's not that straightforward as you think. And Big Pharma wants you to take medication and they want you to get a penile surgery. And I'll tell you why, because Big Pharma wants you to be sick. So if you keep taking ED medication, you're going to be dependent on ED medication, and they want you to be sick. So that way, the next step is penile replacement surgery. And when you have penile replacement surgery, the hospital makes money, the prosthetic company makes money, and they don't want you to restore your erection. So you've been forced to do it in the past because you're trying to figure it out yourself. You're a man and you're self-reliant, you're independent. You're like, you know what? I can do it myself. You go to Google, you read, you research, you take, and then, as you research, you found an internet dispensary who give you ED medication and you take it, you start to have side effects, you tolerate it, or if you don't take the ED or after a while taking ED medication, it doesn't work anymore. It starts to get uncomfortable with your spouse. You start to feel frustrated and embarrassed, and also avoidance of sex. And you're wasting precious time because I'm going to show you that you can restore your sex life in the next hour by doing some of the strategies I'm showing you today. So there are 3 secrets of getting an erection and hard again. Secret number 1, ED medication can make your ED worse. Secret number 2, there is one primary pathway to restoring sexual function. Secret number 3, ED can be treated without medication. Are you guys ready for this? Secret number 1, ED medication make your ED worse? You're like, what? I thought ED medication is supposed to fix my ED. Not necessarily. And I'll tell you why. Again, everyone wants you to be sick. All right. Money is made when you are sick. pharmaceutical company, Viagra. It's actually the number was in 2008 with an 8 billion with a B, not a million, $billion profit. Hospital wants you to be sick because when you keep taking ED medication, your heart gets worse. And I'll tell you why, because the problem why you have ED is really due to poor blood flow. So as you take ED medication, your heart condition can get worse. You get hospitalized and you do surgery, you get stent, you get open heart surgery. The hospital can make money from that. Prosthetic company that make the penile implant wants you to get penile implant. I can't tell you how many patients I have helped that their doctor had told them that the only solution is for them to get a penile implant. So this is a very, very famous study that was done in 1994 that shows that men between the age of 40 to 70, that there are 52% of them will have ED or have ED. This is done in 1994. We're talking about 30 years ago. God knows where it is right now. And that the prevalence at that time was 30 million men living with ED. And what is also incredible is that 600,000 of new cases a year of ED. And that the older you get, and like if you're 60s or 70, the cases of severe ED, more prevalence of severe ED versus moderate or mild. As you can see from the graph, mild ED is the same from 40 to 70. But as you get in the 50 to 60 to 70, moderate and severe patient is more prevalent. So it's 50% when you're 50 and 60% of ED when you're at 60 and 70% of ED when you're at 70. So let's go over what is your normal sexual function. How do you get an erection? Erection only occurs when your mind and your penis is relaxed, and I'll tell you why. And keep on looking at this picture because I'm gonna ingrain today that there are 6 systems on how you can get an erection. The brain is the largest sexual organ. It starts in the brain. Okay, it starts in the brain right here. How you get an erection? It's not in your penis first. How you get an erection starts in your brain. Why is that? Because you have to become aroused. You have to be in the mood. You have to be relaxed. And how do you get aroused? By the 5 senses. What you see with your eyes, what you smell with your nose, what you taste with your mouth, what you hear with your ears, and your touch. That sends stimulus to your brain. And that gets mixed in with your emotions. Like, are you depressed, anxious? Are you stressed? Are you fatigued? Are you distracted? That gets mixed in and the hormones gets released. Again, still in the brain. The hormone gets released. There's various hormones that gets released. And then that stimulates the nerve in the back of your neck. Those nerves then send messages to your heart. Your heart starts pumping more. And then it goes to your blood vessels. And your blood vessels have to be able to open up or dilate, vasodilate or relax. To open up so that way it can accommodate the more blood coming out of your heart. And then that brings in more blood flow to your penis. That's where the muscle is involved, the penis muscle right here. So your penis the muscle have to relax to accommodate the gush of blood that is coming out of your heart, going into the blood vessels. And when the penis muscles relax, then you get the blood fill in the penis. And then when the penis start to get engorged, all right, it then block off the veins and the vein collapse. So that's how you hold an erection. So blood flow, increasing blood flow is what creates an erection. It's blood flow that creates the erection. And when a man has ED, it's either is it more blood flow coming in, or is it the veins are not able to be collapsed to maintain that erection. And the most common ED is really the venous leak. Okay. All right. So what causes ED? The causes of ED, 90% is physical. When I say physical, it means from medical causes. What physical mean is that poor blood flow to the penis. And how do you get poor blood flow? You have poor blood flow is low nitrous oxide. Nitrous oxide is a critical, it's a gas that's in your body actually. that is produced by the lining of the blood vessel called the endothelium. I'll show you a picture of that. That what it does is that it opens up blood vessels. And you need a nitrous oxide in order to increase blood flow. And you need nitrous oxide so your penis muscle can be relaxed. So taking antibiotics, taking anti-inflammatory, and using fluoride toothpaste or fluoride mouthwash, and even taking anti-ulcer medication like Pepcid and Zantac and Nexium. By taking those medication, it actually lowers your nitric oxide content in your blood. Or you're not eating enough green vegetables like collard greens, salad, and beets and broccoli. Other things that contribute to poor blood flow is obesity, and you're not eating a proper diet. If you're eating like processed food, eating a high fat food, or you're eating a lot of carb and a sedentary lifestyle, you're not exercising at all. You have high blood pressure, you have diabetes and high cholesterol and poor sleep and low testosterone and increased stress. Now, 10% is due to psychological reasons, mainly from anxiety, stress, depression, fatigue, and performance anxiety. The endothelium is essentially the lining of the blood vessel. That's the endothelium. And that's what you guys should be worried about, because that is, if the endothelium is not intact, you'll have, you're not going to be able to have good blood flow to the heart, to the brain, or to the penis. And the endothelium is where your blood flows into, and these are just the other structures. So essentially, what is poor blood flow? Poor blood flow means that you have it's like a pipe, and it's not opening as wide as it used to be because you have high cholesterol or diabetes, and it tends to cause like a plaque. It creates a plaque, and the plaque just restricts the blood flow. So that's why it's decreased blood flow. And the reason why it's affecting the penis more, because the penis artery is the smallest in the body. The penis artery is about 1 to 2 millimeter. Millimeter is like the size of an ant, versus the heart about 4 millimeter. So what this picture shows is that as you get older, also nitric oxide decreases. Like when you're 40, men seem to have less nitrous oxide than women. When you're 40 years old, you have 50% nitrous oxide production, and the older you get, the worse it gets. So again, this is a picture of the endothelium, and then if you have high blood pressure or high cholesterol, it creates this plaque, and you see this opening right here? That's the only way the blood will flow through. That's what decreased blood flow is all about. And this is what I was mentioning before, that the penis artery is about 1 to 2 millimeter, and the artery to the heart is about 3 to 4. And the internal carotid artery is the artery that goes to the brain. So, and that's why the penis is affected first when you have decreased blood flow, and then the heart follows that. So why does ED medication make ED worse? It's because Viagra, how it works, or Cialis, same thing. Cialis, Viagra, it's the same thing. How it does is that it relaxes. What it does is that it increases cyclic GMP. Viagra does not increase nitrous oxide. It increases cyclic GMP. It helps with relaxing the smooth muscle of the penis. That's how it helps with erection. However, it does nothing to increase nitrous oxide. It does nothing to increase blood flow. It does nothing to help you with your endothelium, which is the lining of the blood vessels. The endothelium is impaired because of high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, obesity, stress, not getting enough sleep, smoking, and recreational drugs. So follow me here, okay? So that's the number one. Number two is that, like I said earlier, Viagra just work on the muscle. But remember when I said that, how does an erection happen? An erection starts in the brain, and it goes to the emotion, the hormone, the nerve, the blood vessel, and finally the penis muscle. Well, Viagra does not help you with the brain. It doesn't help you with your libido. Viagra doesn't help you with your emotion. It doesn't help you release more hormones if you have low testosterone. It doesn't affect the nerve at all. And it certainly does not help you with opening the blood vessel more so you can get more blood flow. So Viagra does not increase blood flow. All it does is that it increases a chemical called cyclic GMP, which then relaxes the penis muscle. But that's one of the reasons why it also has all these other side effects of nasal congestion, blurry vision, and headache, because it also can relaxes those blood vessels as well. And again, this is just a picture of the nitric oxide. What I'm trying to say is that if you eat a poor diet, which is the yellow line right here, your poor diet means processed food, high carb, and you don't exercise, you will lose more nitric oxide. Remember, I said there are two things that increase blood flow. It's that nitric oxide and also taking care of your endothelium. All right. But if you eat a good diet and you exercise, guess what? By the age of 40, you bring it up here, you can still maintain about probably 90% of your nitrous oxide. And you're still doing good. But by the time you're 70, you have about 40%. But compared to the one that has a poor diet and inactivity, you actually you're in worse shape. So the like I said, erection, the blood flow blockage is here. All right, so here's the penis and here's the artery, and the blood flow blockage is inside your body before the penis. Viagra just works on the penis muscle. It doesn't do anything to the artery or improving your blood flow at all. But your blockage is here. So if you're taking Viagra, you're really ignoring the blockage in your blood vessels that are happening here. So what happens, you keep taking medication, is that the blood flow restriction worsen over time because you're not addressing the problem. So that's the reason why ED medication only, most of the time, it works about 70% of the time. It actually works more in cases of psychological ED. I'm not saying it doesn't work in the physical, but the reason why sometimes when you notice you have to go up on the dose and ED medication is that your blood flow restriction problem gets worse. So you need more of the medication to open up the blood vessel, but it does nothing to reverse the blood flow restriction. And it's a Band-Aid for ED because it's really a Band-Aid because you're really ignoring the reason why you have poor blood flow in the first place. What are the common side effects? It's the headache, the flushing, like I mentioned. But I also there was a new study that came out, it was like maybe a couple of years ago, that looked at 20,000 men. They actually were experienced change or loss of vision, as well as hearing loss, as well with chronic use of ED medication. And don't forget that it can also cause lightheadedness and low blood pressure if you're already taking a heart medication. And that, there's no spontaneity, and the absorption of Viagra depends upon what you eat prior to that. So this is a story of Blaine. He's 50 years old, and he's had ED for a few years. He tried Cialis and Viagra. It didn't work well. And then we worked together, and now about several weeks later, he's able to restore his erection again. It changed his life, and he feels like he's 20 again. And he stopped taking ED medication. He no longer needs it. He's also changed his diet. He lost 30 pounds. He is actually getting married now. So I'm very proud of him now. Thanks for listening to the Sexual Health for Men podcast. If you love this episode, then please take a screenshot on your phone and post it on Facebook, Instagram, or wherever you post. And be sure to tag me and let me know why you like this episode and what you like to hear in the future. That will help me know what's great for you, and I would love to give you the most incredible free gift designed to help you improve performance quickly. Go to my website at sexualhealthformenpodcast.com to get the book, The 5 Common Costly Mistakes Men Make When Facing ED. I would appreciate it if you subscribe, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen, and just know that you can have sexual vitality for life. I appreciate you. Until next time.